Okay, looks like I'm live. Been a while since I've gone live on YouTube. Today we're going to be talking about these glasses right here, these blue blockers. I was inspired to do this by Dr. William Lagakos' work over at Calories Proper. They're really interesting, and I wanted to look at what the science said about them. So without further ado, let me get started. For today's episode, we're going to talk about blue blockers. I was inspired to do this episode by Dr. William Lagakos of Calories Proper. Specifically, what I'm going to try and look at is whether or not the literature is convincing enough to make me wear these glasses more regularly. Now, those of you who are seeing this podcast either on Facebook or YouTube, even on my website, you can see how stylish these are, right? These are my blue blockers, and I use them to block blue and ensure no one is attracted to me anytime soon. For those who cannot see them, these are orange safety glasses, which I picked up as part of a personal experiment into these things. In this episode, we're going to review the literature and see if it's convincing enough to show me that these are actually worth wearing. So first thing we need to look at is melatonin. Melatonin is a hormone produced in the pineal gland that is most well known for its importance in inducing sleep and regulating the circadian rhythm. It's arguably the most important modulator of our circadian rhythm. Now, the reason melatonin is something we need to look at here is because blue light, like you get from a computer screen or from a cell phone or a TV or something like that, has been shown to suppress melatonin production. This is why there's like F-Lux on your computer or Apple's night shift on your phone, which try to reduce the amount of blue light that's emitted to improve your sleep. Now, this is also the same theory behind wearing blue blockers like this, is that wearing them, you'll block the blue light and therefore have greater melatonin levels. Now, in order to get a grasp on whether or not that's a reasonable thing to do, we need to look at to what degree melatonin is actually suppressed by blue light. So there was a great study done that actually compared different wavelengths of light and whether or not they significantly inhibit melatonin production. And it does seem to demonstrate that the shorter wavelengths, such as those in the blue and also into the green, seem to have the greatest suppression effect on melatonin levels, with a maximal suppression of 81%. This seems to me to suggest that minimizing exposure to this kind of light near bed might be a near necessity for circadian health. The question we now need to look at is figuring out what exactly effect these blue blockers have, both on melatonin levels and directly on sleep. Now, the literature seems pretty consistent on this point, with the conclusion seeming to be that blue blockers either could or do help with sleep. Now, looking first at their ability to ensure melatonin is still produced, there's a great article from the Journal of Pineal Research that showed blue blockers actually contributed to a significant increase in melatonin levels compared to baseline. And the gray lenses, which acted as a control to compare to these amber ones, showed a significant decrease. This suggests again that the blue part of the spectrum is what we have to worry about, and that blue blockers are likely a useful tool for helping protect melatonin levels. Now, focusing more directly on sleep, there's a few useful trials to choose from. There was a study done in 2009 that has some interesting effects, which seem to help explain some of my own experience with these glasses. They found that initially subjective sleep quality actually got worse for the group wearing these glasses and then started getting significantly better. Now, why this was interesting to me is that when I first tried these glasses, the first night or so, they worked fantastic. I was off straight to sleep. But after a while, I felt my time to sleep gradually lengthening until about the 5th or 6th day when I gave up on the experiment. What this suggests to me is that I need to do a longer experiment, probably about a month, to really grasp whether or not these glasses have a significant effect for me. Now, there was another great study done that looked at these glasses in people suffering from delayed sleep phase disorder, and they found that these glasses seemed to improve sleep onset by shifting the circadian clock, but the results were non-significant. Thus, we cannot draw strong conclusions from this study, but it does help to strengthen our case that these glasses likely do contribute to health. Now, there was an interesting journal article I came across on Calories Proper that I just wanted to discuss right here. It's not totally relevant to this topic, but it's interesting enough that I wanted to share it with you guys. Basically, there was an experiment that looked at light therapy as a potential treatment for sexual dysfunction in men, and they found that light exposure can suppress melatonin and as such help increase testosterone production. The experiment basically blasted the subjects with a whole bunch of light right after they woke up. They found significantly increased testosterone levels. This was fascinating to me because it shows how interconnected all these endocrine pathways are. And it also convinced me to move that light therapy box I've been looking at purchasing way up on my shopping list. So in conclusion, blue light's bad, almost definitely affects your sleep, and these ugly glasses probably do help. You can get these for just a few bucks off Amazon. I would say it's worth experimenting to see what kind of effects you have. Now, if you're more curious about circadian health as a whole, I recommend you go to Calories Proper and look at Dr. William Lagakos' work. He's done an excellent job of summarizing the connections between light and human sleep and health. I'm going to try a longer experiment with these glasses, and I'll let you guys know what I found out. But that's all I got for today. Thank you for anyone who sees this video. Remember to like and subscribe. I'm going to be doing this a lot more often for you guys.